All right, well, we're gonna get started. So this theme is about being right versus being confident. I notice that a lot of times people have have thought that someone talking in a way that's full of confidence means that they're right, but a lot of times that may not be true. And this, I've been I was just inspired to make this theme because of that misconception, and I would like to see what each of us think about this. And so the first question is, how do you deal with stress of having to talk about a subject you don't fully understand? Now, if I when I don't understand the topic, I try to um, I'll let if I have to if someone told me, like my boss, I had to tell me I had to teach a class in something, or a uh and if I don't quite know it, I would try to do any homework prior to the presentation for the class. Um, if I don't know it, I have to do my best to try to understand it. And if I come to it, if I don't understand it, I try to seek out extra help, an extra hand to cover me that might know it. I try not to stress about it too much. Um, there has been interviewer questions in the past that I was asked questions, technical questions that I have no idea about, and I just would have to say I don't know. I'll just say I'll search it up or I'll look it up, and I'll just instead of just trying to be confidently wrong, I try to be confidently showing that I will find the answer. And I think that's the best approach when you don't know something, in my opinion. Giovanni, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I focus on being transparent when I don't know something and um uh, being transparent about the limits of my knowledge. And I I try to have a how can I say that, like um I try to, as you said, when when I'm presenting something, I try to, and I don't know about some subject or something. I try to shift my role in the room to a learner instead of I don't know, a teacher. And I try to um, uh, contribute with my perspective, instead some wrong knowledge or some, I don't know, some topic that I don't know. Yeah, I prefer to be transparent with my limits, about my limits.
I think that's a good approach, being transparent. Like we can't know everything about every subject. And so we just have to, adapt and or let them know that, we don't know, but we can just find out when we have time. What do you think, Fernando?
I think that there isn't much to do if you don't understand fully about what you speaking, The correct way, I think, in my opinion, that if you need or can to talk about a subject that you need to understand that subject, because if you understand the subject. I think that the stress is is easier for you. I have if you understand anything else about the subject for you when you start I speak about the anything else anything subjects I think is if you can speak more confident and with a stronger uh, speaker you know I think if you but if you don't fully understand it difficult the stress I think that came for you um, is another way you know
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a good way to think about it.
yeah yeah
Um, this next question is, have you ever believed a piece of misinformation or disinformation news that made you suspicious? A lot of times when I am searching up for uh, new stuff about technology or how it works, there's I have to use multiple sources to confirm that the information is accurate. And there's been many times where through one source um, says one thing, then the other sources say completely different things. And and after a while, I just understand that the first source that I looked at may not be correct, or the second source. And after it's why you have to, gather from many sources as possible. Um, Technology can be misinterpreted or misunderstood. Um, People misunderstood cloud technology for years. They misunderstood, um, blockchain, AI. There's been lots of misinformation on how it works or what and and how it functions, but you have to really dig deep and look for that information to find it. I've always look at information with suspicion because there's no one source that has 100% accurate information. It might be something that's a little bit off or biased or maybe oversimplified. It doesn't represent the entire subject. You just have to be very cautious. Lately, I think there's a lot of weird AI videos that make no sense, and I tried to avoid those. I was like, whatever they're saying is complete nonsense. It's
yeah
ridiculous. And they tried to pretend it's real people, but clearly there was an AI talking to each other. Like it's something like that. Yeah, it's just be cautious about it. So, yeah, Fernando, what do you
yes
think about that?
me too I need I I can well, I need to avoid this information that but I think that I ever believed about misinformation or disinformation maybe because there are a lot of things in the information the internet you know and the information is so fast nowadays if you look in information and notice in internet and you think it's true this information is true but I I looking I'm looking for to be careful about the anything information that I see in the internet because it's a lot of disinformation in YouTube, on Instagram, maybe it's in Instagram. there are a lot of information, there are a lot of videos there, and I think for us, I think, in my opinion, that we need to be careful when we see information on Instagram. I think for me it's necessary to do that about the information if the information is totally true, you know.
We do need to verify it. Um, it's like when you ever type something on Google and like the first thing that pops up is like an AI summary of whatever it is,
Yes,
and
yes,
and you just look at it like this is not right. This is
yes,
completely wrong information,
yes.
and you have to just I don't know. Sometimes the AI just hallucinates
Hmm.
information because you just have to look at what they're finding it from, and if they're just getting information from these articles that are just complete nonsense, then you just have to look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you think, Giovanni?
Yeah, currently it's a bit tricky to know what is true or not, and um, uh, at times, especially when the information um, is of my interest, I try to look for a confident source to check the information. But when the subject or the topic is not of my my interest, I only um, I only ignore. And yeah, because as you guys said, um, nowadays it's uh, how can I say, a hard time to trusting the information, especially uh, uh, because of the AI and um, I don't know. So I would say that. Let me think. The um, uh, I would say not trust source because the people are bad and try to share misinformation and or try to modify do some changes in the my information. And yeah, for me today I think the all the information the that I am seeing is is suspicious, and I ever try to check two or three other source um, to share something, but I I don't like to share information from the internet, and I only share um, sometimes when I share something, I try to share knowledge about my area or my work in and only only related to scientific articles, you know. And yeah, that's it because um I really don't trust the information from the internet today. It's uh pretty hard.
You have to really filter out all the information. Even with the
Yeah.
science articles, like on nutrition or like on how that works. There's a lot of misinformation about nutrition and health, and it's just, I mean, it's quite, you have to actually seek a nutritionist who's
Yeah.
studied for years. They would know best. A dietitian, all those would know uh, good information to help. But like just looking at these random articles where one is saying that something is healthy and the other one's saying it's not healthy, and then it's just, and it's conflicting information. Just don't know what to do. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to trust any website. You have to look at other sources and maybe just find someone who's accredited uh, specialist on that. Yeah. Well, the next question is, do you dare to correct someone who says something wrong, even if the person speaks with great confidence? Um, there, I would say that I have corrected people that were speaking with great confidence, and so sometimes it turns out well, where they're like, okay, well, thank you for letting me know, and I'll be more careful. And other times it's gone really poorly, where I mentioned it and they were just freaking out, getting upset, like just accusing me of random things. I'm like, but I mean, if they're not gonna listen, I mean, I'll just stay quiet. Like I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
um, it happens, but it just depends on the person. But I am willing to correct someone if I know for a fact. If I have any doubt in my mind that could be wrong, I'll let them continue with what they're saying and verify it somewhere else. But I mean, it's only when I know for a fact that something's wrong. What do you think, Giovanni?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on context. If it's a critical matter, I correct it respectfully. Um, often by asking questions like, "Have you considered?" or "Could it be that something?" I prefer to I prefer to avoid unnecessary
Mhm.
conflict. Yeah, and in the past I have already I did some how can I say that I had some problems with try to um, um, try to correct someone, and today I don't like to do this, and I only um, try to um, like I don't know, conduce. Let me check if it's correct. Like um, try to um, explain what is wrong, especially when I am speaking with a friend or close close person, close friend, and I try to guide the topic to a correct way, and yeah, but only if I am speaking with a friend or a, a parent. But sometimes even uh, even I only how can I say I sometimes I ask myself if it's not if it's necessary for the time, but um, the the answer for this question always is no, it's not. It's not necessary. But yeah, I prefer to avoid the conflict.
Nice.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Go ahead,
For me,
Fernando.
for me, guys, it depends on the situation, you know. So it, I prefer avoid the confront the guy the first time, but if I have an opportunity, yes, I will go correct the guy that I said. Think another that anything else that anything something wrong, you know, because if I understand about this that subject, you know, and I think it's necessary, but not in front of the all people. I think that in the backstage, in the back, in the other opportunities, you know, I like to discuss about the a lot of subjects, and if I say that this if I know that about the subject and I I go to the speak with the guy. No, I think it's necessary if the information is wrong because it's a lot of information or subject that it depends of the the opinion, you know, because sometimes the guy have a opinion and I have another opinion, you know. It depends the situation, but if sometimes it's necessary to correct and or discuss about the subject or the information that it was wrong, you know. I think.
Makes sense. Yeah, I totally get that, man. I think it's just. I think in the end, it's just really depends on the situation. It depends on the person. Sometimes it could be seen as rude to, like, if you were just randomly just correct someone while they're giving like a presentation, but even if they're completely wrong, other times it's like, yeah, small space, there's only a few people, and they're asking questions, or then like sometimes it's okay to bring it up, but it just really depends on the situation. Yeah. This next question is, would you rather speak hesitantly but truthfully, or with complete confidence without telling mistakes? But telling mistakes, I mean, why? I would uh I would try to speak hesitantly and truthfully. I don't think I just need to ramble on just trying to fill in with information that may not be relevant or is completely untrue. I just I think I think it's just best that way. I don't like spreading any wrong information. What do you think, Fernando?
Man, for me, I prefer to speak with truthfully, you know, because for me it's totally necessary to speak with just truthfully because if you if you it's necessary to speak truthfully and if you don't have a lot of information about the subject, but if you say about the subject with us truthfully, it's more confident, and you know, but it's necessary. But sometimes uh, the people speak with the hesitantly, but the people who speak all the truth, or if the people don't be speak with sincerity, and it's necessary to speak for with truthfully.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just to be truthful. Yeah. What do you think, Giovanni?
Yeah, I prefer to speak with hesitantly, but briefly. As I uh, answered in the first question, I focus on being transparent about my knowledge, and I believe it it gives me more confidence to talk about some subject, and I for me I believe the confidence without accuracy can mislead others and damage the credibility. And I prefer to only uh, only talk about the subjects that I that I know. Uh, and if I don't know something, I I try to positioning myself about this subject, but only with the the truth that I that I know about that subject, and I believe that uh, truth, if even if um delivered with some uncertainty, uh, builds trust, you know, and it it I don't know, it gives more space for improvement and for learning um, more about the subject. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah. With that, I mean, it's simply you don't if you say something with complete confidence, but you're telling mistakes, yeah, people will be distrustful. Like if they figured out that something's wrong, they may not want to hear from you. But if you try to take your time, say something truthfully, I mean, like you said, you've built the trust that something is correct. Um, yeah. So next question is, how do you regain your self-confidence after realizing you shared false information? Um, if if I share something that's false on accident, I do try to fix the mistake by letting the people know that I was wrong. If you admit to people that you're wrong, that's very important. As for why, I don't think saying something on accident should ruin your self confidence. I mean, people sometimes say things on accident, but maybe they were very certain that something was correct, but then they realized it was incorrect, and they all they do is you just let people know that they were wrong, and that people like to know. People think it's great when you can admit to your mistakes. Someone who never admits to mistakes, um, it's not even you can't really rely on them to ever improve themselves. What do you think about that, Giovanni?
Um, uh, First, I acknowledge the mistake openly and correct it. Uh, I I never had the problem uh, to uh, to realize a mistake or something. I acknowledge the mistake. and I haven't tried to prepare myself better when I need um to talk about some subject, like so about some important subject, not um when um I am talking about something, I don't say that, like with um in a simple conversation with my friends or something. I I how can I say, I always uh, I am always open to um open to um correct something or um improve my knowledge. But when I am in a room, presenting something or talking with some, how can I say, um yeah, I forgot the word in Portuguese and I don't know to uh, what I really want to say, but um when I need to uh, present something with confidence, and I uh, I how can I say, and I make a mistake or say something wrong. As I said, I try to acknowledge the mistake, and um, I I prepare better in the next time. And we every people, um, I don't know, every people uh can, I don't want to say that, can make a mistake, like, or the yes, the people commit mistakes, and um it's not a problem um for me, and I am I'm always improving myself, and um preparing me preparing myself um to discuss about topics with uh confidence, with more confidence and more accurate information. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm I don't know to what I can say more. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, this question is concerning, it's a difficult question. If I share a false information, oh my gosh, I think that I I apologize, because sometimes I'm wrong, and if if I am wrong, it's necessary to apologize for to to having share false information, and because sometimes it's difficult because the information is so fast nowadays, and sometimes we have to do this, to share a false information. It's difficult to regain your self-confidence, but it's necessary to apologize and continue explain about your thought. And if you need figure out the correct information after you share false information. You need to looking for and figure out the correct information to pass on anything else for people who you speak.
Yeah, it's just gotta acknowledge our mistakes.
Hmm.
Um, this next question is, when you hear surprising news, what's your first reaction? Do you share right away or do you wait? I don't, I don't share it with anyone until I know for sure like it's real. But if I do share with my wife when I confirm any surprising news. Um, really, I mean, it could be. I don't like. I don't jump. I don't just look at any title of a news article and just or just anything. Just assume that's exactly the right. What that's actually correct. So I do verify that, but I usually tell my wife first. Yeah, I don't, I don't get shocked and like jump out of my chair for everything. So, what do you think, Fernando?
Yeah, my gosh, it's sometimes it depends on the notice if you need to looking for the if the notice is true, but depends of the notice and the situation. Normally, I share the the news for immediately, but depend of the information. I I looking for for this this news is true. I think no. And you, Giovanni.
Yeah, you do have to verify. Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually check the source, but to be surprising news, maybe it comes from a reliable uh channel, I would say a reliable person because I um sometimes I I don't think um um some news from the internet a surprise because I really don't trust in the information from the internet. Um, but when it comes from a reliable person, I may um, share it cautiously. But if it's questionable, I wait until I can verify it because um, to be honest, I don't like to share anything, and when I hear a surprising news, I check with my wife first, and um sometimes uh I leave I let my wife share the news or yeah. Uh, Yeah, I really don't like to share anything even because I am thinking a surprise news will come from a a parent or a person in my family, and I think okay, I need to wait. This person share this news to uh, the other people in our family and okay if um and mainly if mainly when it's um, a questionable information. But yeah, I would rather be late than spread misinformation. Yeah, that's it.
It's very wise, Giovanni. Don't trust the internet and always wait. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
if you're late.
yeah.
Nice,
Yeah, just
nice.
make sure you get the right information. I think that's very wise. Well, what do y'all,
Yes.
that concludes the question. What did you two think about this theme and all the questions that we talked through? Starting with you, Fernando.
Sorry, excuse me.
I was like, what do you think about this theme and all the questions today?
I I I think it's interesting question. I like it this talking because it's it's the important subject because it, the news share a news it's important and it's very important to share true news. I think it, you have to be careful when you share news or for, for anything else, anything else.
Yeah, thank you. What about you, Giovanni?
I found a interesting subject. Even I am speaking Portuguese. I try to look for a confident source to know about something or learn about a subject that I need to present, and um, I I ever prefer to have a true information to can speak with confidence, and um, I uh, in how can I say that, um nowadays with the chat GPT and it, with the AI in a wide way, um all the information is near to us, and um it's easy to get some information or learn something new. And I always try to check a lot of sources to when I am learning something. And I, as I mentioned before, as in Portuguese and now in English, I'm always looking for a good source of information. And yeah, sometimes I I only trust in the chat GPT, and and I I I hope that the chat GPT information is correct, but when I need to talk about something important and I need to present something um in my work or in my college, I always check the information in other sources, and I um come back to the past and try to get a book and check the information in a uh, in a I don't know to say that, in a flash source. I don't know if it's correct, but I I try to check the books, and um and get the correct information. And yeah, I believe it's how can I say, a a good way to deal with the misinformation in internet. And um uh, as I mentioned before, I really don't trust in the internet information, and I I don't like to um how can I say, to 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 get to get only from the to get the information only from the internet. And yes, sometimes I look for a person who know about something, or have a master in some subject, to check the information or learn more about some topic that I want to um that I want to learn, or I don't know, speaks about speak about um some subject. And yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you, Giovanni, and thank you, Fernando, for
Thank
coming
you.
to this version. And I hope I see you all next week. If you all take care, have a good
Yeah,
evening. I know it's
You
weather,
too.
so take care.
see you
You too,
guys.
guys.